if something that meant to be yours is being robbed from you? What if you are deprived of something that is important to you or something that you can enjoy? Picture yourself doing something that is not your responsibility but have no choice but to do it to live. How would you feel? I am Franzike Mahinay and I am going to talk about child labor. Child labor is child abuse. Child labor is work that deprives children of their childhood, their potentials, their dignity, their education, and may bring harmful to their mental and physical development. Globally, child labor is widespread. People frequently compliment working kids, saying that even at their young ages, they are capable of providing for their families. This is a widespread misunderstanding about child work. Should a child work throughout their formative years? Aren't parents are obliged to support their children and not the other way around? A youngster that had a difficult childhood is not a good role model to follow. Child labor merely serves to highlight the parents' lack of accountability by demonstrating that they have delegated their responsibilities to their kids rather than working to support their family. No children should ever be denied the opportunity to experience childhood. Along my speech, I'll be presenting three main points. Child labor is globally widespread issue, particularly here in the Philippines. Child labor shows lack of accountability of parents, and lastly, child labor should not be considered as normal. Child labor is globally widespread issue, particularly here in the Philippines. According to the data collected in 2016, 152 million children were working, 73 million of whom were employed in dangerous jobs. The International Labour Organization and UNICEF released new report in 2021 that found that there were 160 million children working as minors globally, an increase of 8.4 million kids in the previous 4 years. In addition, according to ILO figures, there are 2,097,000 child laborers in the Philippines alone. The majority of these child laborers are employed in the agricultural industry. As the country's poverty rate climbs, this problem persists. Due to the effects of COVID-19, the percentage of child laborers in this country is increasing. Last 2018, Dolly waged the National Anti-Child Labor Campaign alongside delivery of projects to combat poverty. This issue is not only seen here in the Philippines but the entire world. One of its driving forces is poverty and the lack of accountability. Poverty left these children no choice but to work so they can have something to eat, and this is a very serious problem that the government should look onto. And as what I have mentioned a while ago, one of the driving forces of child labor is the accountability of the parents. Child labor draws attention to parents' lack of responsibility. One of the numerous reasons why some kids, even at an early age, prepare to work than to learn. It is irresponsible for the parents to choose to have a kid even when they are aware that they cannot provide for it. Parents who are irresponsible and transfer the responsibilities to their children. I personally witnessed child labor here in our area. My own neighbor is giving her 12-year-old kid her responsibility of taking care of the younger child, and sometimes to earn money so that they could have food on their plate. She's divorced from her spouse and a mother of 5 kids. Even though her ex-husband would support the kids, it is still insufficient. The mother would frequently visit her friend's house where she would play mahjong, or worse yet, consume drugs. Her eldest son is now left to care for his younger siblings, and occasionally he would ask us if we had anything we needed, like fertilizer for our plants. It just demonstrates that some of the parents of child laborers are not working but still decide to have children in this chaotic world. Choosing to have a child despite their financial limitations, leaving the child no choice but to work even at their young age. Children whose potential and childhood are being stolen. Lastly, child labor should not be considered as normal. It is just sad to see and hear that people often normalize child labor where in fact it isn't. People's conception and child labor should be changed. A child who is struggling on their childhood is not normal and will never be a normal thing. It is a violation of human rights, especially to a child. It is an abuse to child's physical and mental aspect. It is depriving the child from the things that he or she should experience at their age. Not only it jeopardizes children's health, but it also affects the children's future. A child should be listening and not earning. No child should ever experience difficulties at such a very young age. I have nothing against those who are working students. My sympathy is for those children who are at very young ages of 5 to 11 who choose to stop their education to look and earn money because their parents cannot afford to. I also just want for people to open their eyes and observe their surroundings. For everyone to realize that a child's childhood should be spent in their education, should be spent on the things that they want to experience for their childhood to be fun. No child should ever be deprived of these experiences. Moreover, people should think twice before building a family. No individual should think of building a family if they know they can provide. It is important to be financially, physically, and mentally stable for you to build a family. A child is not an investment. A child is a responsibility. If you know to yourselves that you can afford to raise a child, then don't build a family. Don't bring an infant or a child in this very chaotic world. Don't give the child a miserable life. Having a child is a choice. You bring his life to this earth, then be responsible. Make sure you can afford to raise the child and not the other way around. No child should get to experience hardships in life at a very young age. Do not think of child labor as a positive thing because it is an abuse and not something that be proud of. Child labor is child abuse. Stop normalizing child labor.